Hi, welcome to this garden tour. So, the bee balm has finally come up this week. I bought some sunflowers at Walmart actually. They're just in a pot. Yarrow. I do have some summer berry yarrow to plant, so that'll be in different colors. We got the calendula coming up. The salvia pretty much all bloomed, and I cut them all back. The hyssop had bloomed. Its flowers were the same color, there's a little bit of purple there, as the salvia. These beautiful little flowers that the little bees are all over this morning. These are what happens when you let radishes go to seed. They're very pretty little flowers. So right here, all these pods, even though it was planted way in the back of the bed, it fell over to the front, and this is the wasabi seeds. Or wait, no, this might be French breakfast. These are the wasabi seeds. That's why I usually just save like a mixture, because it's hard to tell once they get all entangled and laying down. But because of the wasabi, I'm going to have to be very careful collecting seeds this year. Like even this little one coming up. And then I took the netting off the okra because it was getting too tall for it. So it's out of its nursery stage. And hopefully it'll grow fast. We'll get some okra. Peas and beans are coming along. So this side is the Chinese red long bean, and these are the sunset beans, which are finally starting to reach out. We keep putting them back to the trellis. I'm going to have to take the netting off this too. The peas in the back. And then this is a bush bean. I can't see the tag. I think it's like a Blue Lake bush bean. And a lot of weeds that I gotta get in there and pull. Hopefully this weekend we get to tie up these tomatoes. I think these are the Jersey Devils Tony put out here. Let's see, do we have any? Oh, I see a tomato. There's a tomato. Oh, is there two? Oh, there's three right there. Oh. That's cool. Wait, I got one over here. Another little one starting. Oh, there's one over there. So, if you've noticed, these tomatoes have a tip at the bottom. They grow long and crooked with that little tip, and it looks like the devil's finger, hence the name Jersey Devil Tomato. So here's the other bean bed. These are a white bean called Harriet. The two lighter green here, because weeds, are adzuki beans. This side, this is the first one to really start growing up. This is succotash with some black beans in the front. Of course, the difference being whole beans versus bush beans, and yes, I have them all very close together. Cucumbers have been struggling. They started to climb a bit, and the little ones in the back are lemon cucumber seeds we had saved, so those are a little smaller, but yeah, they're not doing so good. So here's the big tomato bed. We're working on a trellis idea so that we can string them up. I think it's a little late to actually try to string them, so we might try what's called the Florida weave method of supporting your tomato plants. But there are a lot of flowers, and there's tomatoes. We got a couple tomatoes there, tomatoes there, tomatoes there. The first one to have tomatoes was the Amelia. It's the first time we're growing this tomato. Let's see, there's some more down there. We do have a couple peppers here. Of course, pretty marigolds are throughout. Now these are the Huskies. They are sturdy little bushy plants. And then, yeah, I don't even know what the rest of these are, so. But there's tomatoes throughout. It's really thick. There's some tomatoes. So sage is done blooming. I'm trying to get seeds. It's taken me forever to figure out how to get the seeds of sage. It's crazy. A lot of the fennel's laying down, but it doesn't care. It's gonna seed. And the ones still standing, they're like 12 foot tall. It's crazy. So I have pulled a potato out of here. So, I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'm going to pull the rest. And then, ooh, come on this side. Look at all those tomatoes. There's tomatoes inside there. Oh. And then I know there's tomatoes over here too. And of course the marigolds. So I did give the hydrangea the blue food for it, and it's still purpley pinkish, but it's looking good. Now, so fennel. As these kind of falter and aren't going to produce seeds, I've been taking the onions still. Maybe I'll just take them. I have a lot of onion seeds inside, so although this one looks very promising, maybe I'll keep that one. See how pretty these little flowers are? So here, the St. John's wort is starting to flower. That came back on its own. In this pot, this is some sort of wild blackberry, but the leaves get chomped by something. We think it's the gopher, by the way they're just completely chomped. Apparently I might have thrown some extra potatoes in here, and the tarragon's growing in here. I just don't even know how, because I only put it in the front bed that I know of. These potatoes should be ready too. They're starting to yellow, and we'll go in and we'll see what we get for potatoes. So I love this area, but it's quite the struggle. We are getting things completely chomped, and there are minor leaf bugs. So if you see this at the trails, that one's really good with the trail. That's a bug that's like in between the top and bottom of the leaf, or it's only on one side. And then there's like other things eating them. So when I had the The lettuces inside last year, I got to eat off of them. So far, just the crabs have been eating off of them. And they love the kale, so. These are getting a little eaten, but mostly they're doing pretty good. I'll have to take this cover off at some point. And this was chard is doing good. This one is just, I mean, we can take some leaves here and there, but it's not really, you come out and grab a whole bunch. And there's things eating the mustard. The mustard's really struggling. I don't think it likes the pot. It's not outside. It liked it inside last year. By the way, rainbow Swiss chard, so we got yellow there. This would be pink that was growing better than it is. This one's growing pretty good with a red. So that's the lettuces. These are the peppers that we overwintered in the house. And that was the first pepper to grow. But it's not the first one we picked. You can see in the back, I'd thrown some squash leaves in the compost, and oh hey look, squash is growing up. There's also a tomato, a couple tomatoes. So we've got some volunteer plants in the compost pile, which we're curious about, so now I'm not flipping it over. The wine berries, they're getting close, but the one laying down there got broken. I don't know if someone stepped on it or just a bad wind. I don't know that we're going to get berries from it, but we still do have the other ones that are standing up. Herb Tower is actually doing really well. I just took a bunch of the basil because it was getting so big. Actually, now it doesn't look happy though. I took basil and it wasn't eaten like this. Wow. Interesting to come out and find. I took some catnip. I took lemon balm. Took a bunch of stuff. Now here's an interesting thing. So I don't know what this is. I didn't plant that, I don't think. This tiny little thing right here is a tomato that completely broke off from its root. But it'll, you know, if you bury it, roots will grow from the whole stem. It has been hanging on. I don't think it's going to make it, but it's been hanging on. Hopefully this chamomile flower. Ooh. Chamomile wants to flower. Oregano, and there's thyme, and oh, all of a sudden my calendula is getting eaten. Hopefully that little bug there is eating whatever's eating my plants all of a sudden. It did not look like this 2 days ago when I came out here and harvested. That's how fast things change in the garden. Just overnight devastation. And if you've heard about it, yes, these are the pots from the Dollar Tree. They're very cool. I like the colors. My other two with the lettuces are Mr. Stackies that I bought, goodness, at least 8, if not 10 years ago. But that's pretty cool.